Life in a family with genetic conditions is manic. There's always something going on. There's always medical things going on.
It's frustrating, it's hectic, it's manic, it's crazy. It's also amazing in lots of ways. And it's also enlightening, it's rewarding. There's lots of amazing things that happen in our family.
Because certainly in Charlie's case, KBG is so rare. I mean, there's only a few hundred known cases in the world.
The GenROC study is a study that's been set up in the UK in which we have almost 550 children with genetic neurodevelopmental disorders. And for each of these children, we have gathered a lot of different information about their lives and, most importantly, about how their genomic condition affects their well-being. In addition to that, we've also asked the child's clinical geneticist for some information about their clinical features. So it's quite a unique study because we've got clinical information as well as parent-reported information on quite a large number of children with varying different genetic neurodevelopmental disorders.
With a condition that's so rare, there isn't enough data in the system to really spot patterns. Right. And so what, for example, one of the things that the information that Unique put out there is that somewhere between 20 and 40% of people with KBG have seizures. I guess with so little data, it's hard to know, is that connected or is that just the individual?
My thought was, if there was things shared, if data was more readily available, that could be something that comes up. So, oh, I've got a child here that's not fitting onto the typical graph. They've not got a diagnosis of anything. What about other children that perhaps had diagnosed disorders, but at birth, what did their charts look like? Could we compare them? Because I don't want to have to spend my life going to doctor's appointments with my children and having to explain their conditions over and over and over again. I think that having data shared more openly, so with growth or with anything else, would help families get help sooner.
So with GenROC, data sharing has been an integral part of the study. At the very outset, we give parents information leaflets, but these information leaflets included a very specific section regarding data sharing, and in particular for us, this was data sharing within the DECIPHER platform. This explained that we would be putting the child's genomic variant and an anonymised section of clinical information about that child, along with their growth measurements, into the DECIPHER platform. But we're not sharing anything else that would make that child identifiable.
DECIPHER is one of around 50 data resources hosted here at EMBL's European Bioinformatics Institute. It is a global online resource that stores and shares the diagnostic genetic variants for over 50,000 patients, together with information about their symptoms. This linking of genetic results with symptoms is very powerful because the single most useful information for someone with a rare genetic test result is knowing which clinical features other people with the same or similar variant have. Patients can contribute their data via their clinical geneticist wherever they are in the world. Sharing this minimal information enables DECIPHER to have the global reach needed for ultra-rare conditions, whilst maintaining privacy for the individual.
DECIPHER is used by thousands of clinicians like me every day to access the most up-to-date information on rare genetic conditions, which helps us turn a test result into a secure clinical diagnosis and provide tailored clinical advice. DECIPHER is especially helpful for patients with difficult to interpret or uncertain variants, where finding other patients with matching or similar variants can help solve a diagnostic dilemma. Crucially, as ever more patients share their data, the information available to doctors improves, and more patients can be helped. As more therapies for rare disease are developed, having a variant discoverable via DECIPHER increases the opportunity to be made aware of research studies and trials of new treatments. DECIPHER is also used by researchers whose work will improve things for patients in the future.
Rare conditions are rare individually, but rare isn't rare. So completely appreciate there'll be lots of families out there who will have their own experience of something that's uncommon or incredibly rare, like we have. Collectively, people living with rare conditions is a big part of the population, and we need to do more to support those people.